Indian history. The history of India can be studied in three periods, namely ancient, medieval, and modern periods. The ancient period starts from the earliest time to mid-8th century AD. The historical process and institutions of our history started changing from about 6th to 7th century AD. The old institutions faded away, giving rise to new ones. In many parts of northern India during this period, new economic system emerged. New types of agrarian relations evolved. The caste system emerged in the later Vedic period. It took new shapes in the post-Gupta period. Further, regional cultures like different languages evolved in the post-Gupta period. All these changes indicate the beginning of a new phase in the 7th and 8th century AD. During this period, the raids of Muhammad of Ghazni or establishment of Sultanate of Delhi, the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Panipat happened. The modern period is identified with the breakup of Mughal Empire and the emergence of regional powers in the early decades of 18th century. Harappan Civilization. In 1921 and 22, archaeology revealed the existence of a vast civilization in northwest of India between 2700 to 1700 BC, with its two urban centers at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Harappa is the first site. It is here a unique urban culture was discovered. The civilization is dated between 2600 to 1900 BC. Amri is the place where the systematic evolution of Harappan civilization can be seen. The Harappan culture was spread over Afghanistan, Sindh, Baluchistan, Jammu and almost the whole of northwest of present India. The climate of northwest India then was moist and humid, while Sindh and Rajasthan were not the desert areas as they are today. Important centers. Harappa is located on the bank of river Ravi and was the first site to be excavated. It ranks as the premier city of the civilization in the world. In Harappa, a substantial section of the population was engaged in activities other than food production like administration, trade, craftwork or religion. Harappa was located in the midst of some important trade routes which are still in use. These routes connected Harappa with Central Asia, Afghanistan and Jammu. Harappa's important position was therefore on account of its ability to procure exotic items from faraway lands. Mohenjo-daro is located on the banks of river Indus. It was the largest Harappan city. It had a population of about 35,000. Excavations show that people lived here for a very long time and went on building and rebuilding houses at the same location. As a result, the height of the remains of the building and debris is about 75 feet. Major characteristics of Harappan civilization. Town planning. The most remarkable feature of Harappan civilization was its urbanization. Consisted basically of small towns. They show a remarkable unity and an advanced sense of planning and organization. Each city was divided into a citadel area where the essential institutions of civil and religious life were located, and the low residential area where the urban population lived. In Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, the citadel was surrounded by a brick wall. Usually, towns or cities were laid out in a parallelogramic form. The use of baked and unbaked bricks of standard size shows that brick making was a large-scale industry for Harappans. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro is the citadel area and is the most striking structure. It is assumed that it was meant for some elaborate ritual of vital importance for the people. To the west of Great Bath, there are remains of large granary. At Harappa, remarkable number of granaries has also been found and they were arranged in 2 rows of 6 with a central passage. In Mohenjo-daro, there is also a long building which has been identified as the residence of a very high official. Another significant building here is an assembly hall. The rectangular town planning was a unique feature of civilization. The arterial roads were provided with covered drains having additional soak pits made of pots. The arterial roads were provided with covered drains having additional soak pits made of pots and placed at convenient intervals. The houses of varying sizes point towards the economic groups of settlements. The parallel rows of 2-room cottages unearthed at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were perhaps used by the poor sections of society, while the big houses were used by the rich. The houses equipped with private wells and toilets. The bathrooms were connected by drains with sewers under the main street. The drainage system is one of the most impressive achievements of Harappans and presupposes the existence of some kind of municipal organization. The houses were constructed with cling-made or kacha bricks and not stones. Agriculture. The Harappans cultivated wheat and barley, peas and dates, and also sesame and mustard, which were used for oil. They also cultivated rice as early as 1800 BC. The Harappans grew cotton. Irrigation depended on the irregular flooding of rivers of Punjab and Sindh. Canal irrigation was not practiced. The evidence indicates that Harappans were using some sort of wooden plough. No less important than agriculture was stock breeding. Besides sheep and goats, humped cattle, buffalo, pig and elephant were domesticated. The camel was rare and the horse was probably not known to the Harappans. A number of wild animals were hunted perhaps for food. Trade and its network. There was extensive inland and foreign trade. Harappan seals and other objects used by these merchants and traders for stamping their goods have been found in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian literature speaks of merchants having their foreign relations. Social activities. Archaeologists have been able to analyze the lifestyles by the evidences they have collected. The pyramids are major illustrations. It was learnt that Harappans were passionate towards luxurious lifestyles. It is found that they were using crafted materials for ornamenting themselves. Gradually, the people of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro started to abandon their hometowns for many reasons. Specialists have not come to an exact conclusion. They believe the reason which brought forward these changes range from climate change and deforestation, etc. Simultaneously, there was an expansion of population into new settlements in Gujarat, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. By 1800 BC, most of the cities of great civilization were found to have been abandoned. Important points to remember in this essay are: history of India can be studied in 3 periods, namely ancient, medieval, and modern. Harappan civilization existed during 2700 to 1700 BC. It was a well-developed civilization with good town planning concepts. From Harappan century onwards, agriculture was practiced. Major food crops were grown. There are evidences of artisans working. Trade and commerce flourished. Luxurious lifestyle also existed. Harappan civilization declined by 1800 BC for the reasons not very well known.